Hey, good morning, everyone. I just wanted to say something real quick. First of all, I am encouraged and honored to say that I'm blessed to still be alive. Most importantly, the great Lord's will tomorrow will wake me up to see 33 years of life, and just life goes by fast. People be thinking I'm saying I'm old. I'm not saying. I'm just saying I'm much older than I used to be. I'm not a teen no more. And I remember the young days of life, but the older you get, like Solomon would talk about in his book of Ecclesiastes, it's like time just keeps on going by. And like he said, it's like vanity, because everybody may be young, but everybody young doesn't get old, because you have a lot of young people dying these days. But what I'm trying to say is I'm just blessed and encouraged to still be here. And I did my research, and today is day 12,053 that I've been here on earth. So tomorrow will be 12,054 days that the Lord has allowed me to live. And that's a long time. But a lot of people talking about, boy, you still young. What you talking about? Well, if you sit there and were to take your time and count from 12,000, from one, or starting at zero all the way to 12,054, for example, don't you think it'll take me quite some time? It'll take me about, let's say 3, 4, whatever hours to count. Not that I can't count, but I'm saying if I was to do 1, 2, it's not the fact that it's hard. It's the fact that if you count all the way to 12,054, that's a long time. And that's what I'm saying. 33 years may not be a long time compared to people that are 50, 60, 70, and so on. But guess what? When you go day by day and add those days up and have lived those days, that's a long time. That's all I try to tell people, that yes, I'm not old, but time goes by too fast. And I think to myself every day, is this my last day on earth? And like, is Jesus coming back? And that's just something important to think about. But that being said, I'm still blessed, and say to God be the glory, because he keeps on dealing with a ratchet sinner like me. And I just thank him for his grace, his patience, long suffering, mercy, and everything else about him. But also, real quick, I just wanted to touch bases on this one verse, one of the most important verses in the Bible that people know by heart and mention a lot, which is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, where it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not to your own understanding, all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct thy path. So what I'm trying to say real quick is this: that's true, but I want to let people know really what that's dealing with. Because if you've been brought up and trained a certain way to believe this and to believe that, guess what? You're not necessarily leaning to your own understanding. Leaning to your own understanding is when somebody tells you something and you're not willing to listen. Or when somebody tells you something, you did your research and you find out that what that person told you is the truth, and you still are anxious to just believe in what you want to believe in. You're being stubborn. You're being hard-headed. You don't want to listen. That's the same thing with God. You have to be faithful and believe in him and trust in him, and not lean to your own understanding. But I'm saying this because a lot of people I may talk to talking about, Cameron, you're leaning to your own understanding. If I understand something one way, even if I'm wrong, but I'm doing my best to try to understand it, and maybe it's not the time for God to reveal to me what that person is trying to tell me, they have to keep that in mind. That's not me leaning to my own understanding intentionally. That's me having a different concept, a different mindset, a different understanding, or my knowledge may not be there on your level right now. So it's a difference, once again, of intentionally saying, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to sit here and lean to my own understanding. I'm going to believe in what I want to believe in. That's leaning to your own understanding. If you have been taught that there's one God, or whatever you've been taught, and you've been believing that because, not just because you want to, but because you thought that was right, and your parents or whoever taught you and trained you to believe that, then that's not you really just believing based on your own understanding. That's you being taught that way, and you did your research and you thought it was true, but then you come to find out it's not true. So you made a mistake and were accidentally leaning to your own understanding based on what you were taught. But now that you know better, you're leaning on God's understanding. So all I'm trying to say is people need to watch and stop being so hardcore on people that may not have the same understanding as somebody else. So if somebody believes something different than me, that may be because they don't understand right now what I'm trying to tell them. So I need to be patient and have pity on them and be patient with them like God is patient with all of us. So that's the whole point I'm trying to say, that at the end of the day, when it all comes down, or when push comes to shove, that's what that verse is talking about. So if you're in a relationship, even when you're saved, it's going to be times that you accidentally lean to your own understanding. And that's only because you don't understand what God is doing. Nobody knows everything about God. He's God. He knows everything we don't. So if you are trying to understand something, but now you don't, that's understandable. But if you know right from wrong, and you know God said in his word, don't steal or don't lie and all this other stuff, but you're intentionally doing it, then the fact is that's a different story, because you're intentionally doing what you want to do and leaning to your own understanding. But if you don't know something, you're not intentionally doing it. You need to do some more research, or the Lord, when the time is right, is going to reveal you the truth. But that's technically all I wanted to say, that verse really means that people have to keep in mind. It's a difference between leaning to your own understanding intentionally and doing it accidentally because it's some things that you didn't know at first that now you know. But anyway, to God be the glory. Once again, I'll be 33 tomorrow, so I'm just blessed and want to say God bless everybody, and to God be the glory. May you have a blessed and prosperous weekend. Take care and be blessed.